What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I bring to you my predictions for the state of play for February 2025. Now, this time, I thought, okay, we don't really get these kind of huge state of plays all that often, showcases even less often. Let's write it down. So I have a little book here. Here's my planner, and I wrote down some things that I think will not be there. Then I also wrote down things that I think are going to be pretty okay, like I feel pretty good about it. And then I kind of just threw some stuff and thought, if we can manifest even like two of these, right? If we can will it into existence, I'm going to be one happy camper in less than 24 hours, okay? So in the comments, I want your predictions. You let me know. Remember, I can't co-stream this event, but directly after the event ends, I'll have videos out on whatever the biggest things are. 40 minutes, by the way, I tend to think, even if everything gets 4 minutes, you think on average, which is probably too high, that's about 10 things. So it's more realistic, I think probably in the range of 12 to 15 things. Now, as we always say, they're not all going to be for me. I understand that. At the same time, they got to go big and they got to go hard with this show, okay? No 6 VR games, no 10 live service games. You got to have some good stuff here, okay? So let me first look at the old list. And I wrote down 3 very sad things that I do believe are not going to be here. Now, what I kind of did is I try to focus on things that are really far out in these kind of like huge blockbuster type things. So I don't think, and I want, but I don't think Persona 6, Kingdom Hearts 4, and GTA. You could also probably throw things like the Cory Barlog game. I would say, is it a 0% chance? Probably not, but I would say that would not be there, right? Anything that's kind of far, anything that's like a year, 2 years out, that has that like really big name. I guess like Resident Evil 9, right? If you think third-party games, that's kind of the theme there as well, right? First-party games that are maybe 2-3 years out, third-party games that are just like freaking gigantic. I'm going to throw those out right away. And again, almost in a reverse Jinx-like moment, I want to play like the Uno reverse card, and hopefully they're going to be there. I highly doubt it, though. Okay, all of those. I don't think they're going to be there. Okay, let me just rifle through what I got here. Okay, and I'll kind of explain what I think is more realistic than others. Okay, so these are all, to some degree, a little bit realistic, at least in my mind. So, more Astrobot DLC, okay? Wolverine, God of War Remastered, we're going to come back to that one. Xbox games coming to PlayStation. Hogwarts Legacy, Deluxe Edition, Game of the Year Edition, whatever you want to call it. Sonic something, so there's been a lot of rumors about, I think, maybe a Sonic racing game. I'll just said Sonic blank, right? Whatever you want to call it. Hell Is Us, that game was leaked, and I think it got a leaked release date, so I think that's going to be there. Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Horizon multiplayer. Then I would say kind of like a subcategory, any game that's like really close. So I wrote Monster Hunter. I know we've seen it like 6 times. It's like the new Deathloop, but I just feel like pick games that are really close to coming out. So like Monster Hunter is at the end of the month, right? Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, maybe, right? I think the Split Fiction, that's like, I think the first week in March, that's probably a good one or a good possibility that it appears there. It's tough to say because you can't really say South of Midnight. You can't really say Expedition 33 because that's clearly kind of aligned with Xbox, right? So while I do think Xbox games on PlayStation, I'll explain that in a second, I'm trying to pick a few games, and that's the end of my list, by the way. I just kind of rattled off, but there is one more I'll save for a second. Games that are close. Any game that comes out, March, April, May, June. So, but again, like you throw out maybe Doom, you throw out South of Midnight. Xbox has a lot of games, by the way, coming out in the next few months. Those games may or may not be here, but I kind of would doubt it. All right. Final one, throwing it against the wall here, seeing if it sticks. And as you know, I will be the happiest person on YouTube and on Twitter tomorrow if it happens. Sly Cooper. Give me a Sly Cooper remaster. Okay, let's go through them a little bit more, detailed. So Astrobot DLC, I think this is more likely than not. We know that there were characters that they, were like in the credits and other things that were not in the game, right? So there's characters, bots that were held off. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're not done supporting that game. There are rumors. I don't think it's confirmed. There's rumors that in March or April there's going to be like a new PS5 bundle that you can get, physically, obviously, and it'll come with Astrobot. So kind of like Astro's Playroom, but it'll come with Astrobot. you could have a fresh wave of DLC, you know what I mean, right around that March time, come out with this, you know, and it would be free or whatever. People like us that got the game, you know, we could do it. And then if you buy a PlayStation 5, March, April, May, whatever, it would come bundled with Astro. I think that makes sense. I actually think that lines up, and I'm kind of talking myself into that one. So that one I think is good. Wolverine, I mean, okay, the ones I think more realistically, right, in terms of the big PlayStation ones, Death Stranding 2, I think, is 1,000% going to be there. They're doing like a Death Stranding event, I think, in March or April with Hideo Kojima. Kojima also has been tweeting, right, the last couple of days that he's been working on a trailer. So we know he does the editing. We know he's very proud of it. And he should be, because those trailers are very good. But I feel like that's obviously for that. Ghost of Yotei, the thing is, I just think Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding are like August, November type pair. So if Death Stranding gets a date, which I think would also be kind of likely here, by the way, I think Ghost of Yotei would also get a date, which means you'd have to kind of show it. So those are the two PlayStation ones specifically that I think have a really good likelihood. They're very big, right? They can kind of carry the show if the rest of it was weak. Wolverine would kind of be that one more thing, you know, kind of like Ghost of Yotei was, I think, last time. And I think God of War was one time before, and Spider-Man, etc. God of War Remaster is probably the second thing most that I want to see here. Obviously, Sly is number one. But God of War, we've heard more rumors. I mean, there's been, I think, this Chinese leaker or something that had leaked a couple of other things in the last couple weeks. He is saying there's a God of War Remaster coming. It's going to be at the State of Play. Please, for the love of God, as we say, all or nothing, right? Don't give me 1 and 2. Don't give me 1, 2, and 3. We already kind of have versions of those already. I mean, I guess it's good to do it a second time if you feel like it, but you got to give us Ascension, you give us the PSP games, everything. Take it or leave it. So that's my opinion on that. The Xbox games, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to have a whole Xbox section, you know, of the State of Play, but if you could get Hellblade, if you could get a release date for Indiana Jones, if you could get Starfield, I'm not expecting all of those. I'm saying like one, right? Pick a Xbox related thing that has been kind of rumored and talked about but not confirmed, and maybe one of those, you know, appears. Hogwarts Legacy, I mean, as we keep talking about, again, like they're running out of time. I guess they can do it whenever they want, but we just got the recent, you know, report again from Jason Schreier talking about the failed state of pretty much all their DC stuff, right? But he again talked about basically this deluxe edition to Hogwarts Legacy, which, by the way, very much sounds like it was thrown together just to make WB money, and so WB kind of like forced it. I feel like we'll have to talk about that, because if the content was forced, is the content going to actually be good? You're just trying to get people to basically buy the game again. And yeah, you're going to do that with extra content, but it's very clear that they're milking Hogwarts Legacy 1 because it sold so well and they've got nothing else, WB as a whole. So not pleased with like why we're getting it, but will we get it? I think the answer is still yes. And it's been 2 years. It's actually 2 years and a couple days after the, anniversary of the game coming out. You can't keep waiting. You cannot have this deluxe edition come out 3-4 years after the game comes out. That makes no sense. It already doesn't really make sense to do it right now, and yet here we are. So I got that one. Sly, of course, like I said, it would just mean the world to me. Sly 5, Sly whatever, remaster. Can't obviously talk too much about it because I think we should save ourselves, right, for when it actually happens, if it actually happens. Sonic, I mentioned it. There's already been kind of postings. I think they were taken down, so it seems very likely. Hell Is Us got the release date already leaked, so that's good. Ghost, Death Stranding we talked about. And then, like I said, Monster Hunter, Split Fiction, that kind of stuff. Horizon multiplayer. This is a one that I think we talked about in videos. Like, it very much seems like from job postings and other things that the game is coming out in 2025. So it's still coming out this year, right? And we're 2 months in, and we haven't even heard about it official yet, right? So I think you've got to show it at some point, and we're probably not going to get another State of Play until September, probably at like the earliest, right? So if the game comes out in the fall, you probably announce it now, and then you have the summer to kind of build. Maybe it comes out in the summer, but you have the summer to build. You could show it at Summer Game Fest or Gamescom or something, and then if you had another State of Play, you could show it a second time, or you could just release it. So that's kind of what I think there. But I do think Ghost and Death Stranding 2 are the two most likely. Horizon multiplayer I think is pretty likely. Hogwarts Legacy, I think also that's honestly pretty likely. Sonic is kind of cheating. Hell Is Us is kind of cheating. And I do think you get like one Xbox game, at least one talked about, which is going to be weird, by the way. Xbox showing up at a State of Play is just not right. I mean, I will accept it, but it's just not right. It doesn't feel right. if we can get some, just please give me some of these. I don't need all of them. I mean, if I had a cherry pick, I would say God of War and Sly would be too high up on my board. But, give me like 3 of my 12 or whatever I said. Just give me like 3, right? Give me like a 25%, and I will accept that every day, all day. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, your own predictions. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.